Hello, Pastor Preston is my name. I'm so excited to come your way today, and I want to share something very brilliant. I want you to pay attention. Don't ignore the sign because you are in love. Don't ignore the signs. One thing about relationship is the fact that as it takes time, it will definitely begin to reveal the content, the real content of the individual. And because you're so in love, you begin to give excuse for it. And then you begin to think about, well, they're going to change. I'm going to deal with that. I'm so much in love with him and all that, blah, blah. And then you get into the marriage. That thing that you ignored becomes big in it. And then you begin to have a lot of problems. You begin to have, to think about, how am I going to deal with this? That becomes your bondage. That becomes your pain. That becomes all the pressure and all the situations that you begin to face because you ignored the sign. Scripture says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That means what's inside will certainly show up. I like to tell people all the time, I say when people are pressured or when people are very excited, sometimes they just spill some content in them, and you must not joke with those content when they show up. Listen and listen very well. Yep. Time always will reveal truth. It is important that you understand that the conscious individual is not who they really are. It is their subconscious that defines who they are. And you see one thing about subconscious, it never shows up in a very calculated space. It only will show up when very angry or very happy. That means when you're under a lot of pressure or when you're just so excited, right? But you see, the conscious man, it is about 5% of us. It is that character that we, calculatedly act, and we always will do that, or human beings always will do that when they are in control. They always will do that when they're trying to impress people. But when things begin to go really hard, when life begins to reveal itself, when all the juice is out of the relationship or the love, then the real content begins to show up. This is very important, very, very important, and you must not joke with it, because you see, when those things just spill out and then they recur again, don't joke with them. Understand that this is something you're going to deal with. So you ask yourself, can I deal with these things? Can I manage it? Can I enjoy it? Do I have capacity to live with it? If you don't have capacity to deal with that, then don't go ahead, because if you go ahead, you most likely will regret it. Yeah, you most likely will regret it. When you go ahead with something that you don't have capacity for, there will be a lot of trouble. There will be a lot of trouble. Trust me to this. So that's why you must be careful how you make decisions when certain signs have started showing up. If you doubt what I'm saying, then ask people who are married. Ask people who are in deep relationship or in marriage right now. They'll be able to tell you that these things are true. So I'm just giving you a very serious advice that I want you to take really, really seriously. Glory to God, somebody. This is very important. So don't ignore the signs when they show up. And then I would like to conclude it with this beautiful story. One time Jesus went out with his disciples, and then someone came up and then poured an expensive perfume on Jesus, and then Judas showed up and said, wow, this perfume is too expensive. How will that be poured on Jesus? Then he said to Jesus, he says, hey, we could sell this thing and give it to the poor. Think now. First he says we should sell it, and next he says we should give it to the poor. Think about that. And then Jesus said to him, he says, the poor you always have with you, but when the right time came, this same man sold Jesus. This time he wasn't going to give the money to the poor. So when he showed up that character and said, let's sell this stuff, it was important, to note that this guy was a thief, even though Jesus has stated it as a thief. Well, but you say, so why did Jesus not take lesson from it? Because Jesus wanted to be sold anyway. Jesus was going to go to the cross. Yep, Jesus was prepared for it. But assuming Jesus did not want to be sold, didn't want to go to the cross, he would have been smart to notice and say, hey, this guy could do anything, to cause us a lot of trouble, and then eject him from the team. This is very important, So when the signs show up, don't ignore it. Take a lesson from it and ask yourself, am I ready? Is it something I want to deal with all my life? If I'm not ready for such, if I know it's going to steal the peace away from my life, then I take a beautiful decision right now that I will not regret later. Thank you for listening to me. God bless you. I'll see you again next time.